Roll Up to Win is here at Tim Hortons, and every roll makes you a winner. You could win.
No way. One of 5 week-long Hilton getaways?
Sweet.
Or one of 50 Hilton weekend trips. Pack your bag.
On it.
Or a Samsung TV.
Nice.
Or a car.
Win a car?
Yeah, a new 2022 Bronco.
Whoa. With over 2 million prizes, it's your time to celebrate. Open your Tim's app and start winning. No purchase necessary. Terms apply. See rolluptowin.com for details.
This ad is almost 3 million gallons long because it's exactly the same amount of time it takes for that much water to flow over the deck at Niagara Falls. So, how does the deck stand up to all that water? Thompson's Water Seal. Just another reason they call us America's recognized brand in water protection. Weather protected, water sealed. Thompson's Water Seal. Trust the seal. Available at a retailer near you.
What's up? I am once again here in my Sunday best, hanging out. My bracket is already busted. And while Michigan was winning, which I thought they were going to lose, the sound was down, and I was talking with a new pal of mine named Eric Medemar. I've mentioned him on the podcast. Eric needs a kidney. I told him that he is the new Rusty on this show. Do you remember Rusty the dog? That I was like, oh my God, we've got to find this dog a home. He's been in the shelter too long, and I couldn't stand it that the dog was slowly dying in the shelter. Well, thank God he found a home. Somebody stepped up and adopted him. I said to Eric Medemar, you are the new Rusty. You are the new goal. Someone is going to give you a kidney. It's a big ask. It's a very, very big ask. Well, it sounds like a big ask. I keep hearing big ass in my head, by the way. But it really isn't. Having lived this, I speak from a spot where I can say absolutely it not that big of a deal. You're out of commission for a little bit of time, and they roll out the red carpet for you, and there are many, many, many amazing things that will happen to you in your life when you save the life of Eric Medemar. He lives here in West Michigan, and I spent time talking with Eric. All the information is below in the comments, and we talk about it on the show, too, or the interview here, too, about what you can do about a live kidney donation for this gentleman. Okay? So enjoy the interview, my time with Eric Medemar. And there he is, Eric Medemar, ladies and gentlemen. So, just so everybody's, just setting the stage, for years, I would see you walking around the Visser YMCA. And I was like, I can't tell you how many times I had the conversation. I see that guy here. I should probably say hi. And then you never do. I mean, I don't know if you're like me. I'm always like, And then when our mutual acquaintances it was Tammy, right?
Yeah.
Who reached out to me and told me about you. Now I'm like, yeah, I maybe I know him. I don't know. And then you and I met together at the coffee house, and I was like, well, of course, now I'm meeting him. Holy crap. So, yes. I mean, it's kind of meant to be. I mean, I've had a lot of these moments where I'm like, God, I feel like an urgency I want this to happen right this second, to get somebody to reach out to you and say, yes, hey, I'm your woman, or I'm your guy who's testing on your behalf to donate a kidney. What an unbelievably incredible ask. And it seems like people in your position, it's like you have to do it all yourself.
It is. It's pretty wild, because it's basically, I went from having okay kidneys at like 13% to dropping down to 8% really, really fast. And then the doctor was like, okay, I think you need to get go on, activate the donors list. And then it was like, boom, you're on your own.
Wow. Yeah. And it's funny because you laugh because that's you. You're kind of like, you strike me as a one day at a time, take it as it comes.
Yes. Absolutely.
But this with the seriousness of this, your life is threatened. And
Absolutely.
how are you able to keep that type of positive outlook, Eric?
Well, I mean, basically, there's not. I can't argue with reality. There's nothing. There's no. I could hate it. I could love it. It was a big shocker to me when he was like, "You're getting dialysis soon," and I was like, "Oh shit," because I'd heard bad things about dialysis, and truthfully, I didn't think dialysis was going to be that big a deal. It wasn't that big of a shocker. And then I went on to the one of the kidney websites, and I was reading about the survival rates and stuff. And I read that your first year as a dialysis patient, you've got basically, it said, a 20 to 25% chance of dying. And your first year, and then if you got to be on it 5 years or more, and I may have a few years on the list if I don't get a donated kidney, your survival rate is only 35%. So I was like, holy, that really hit home. And that's when it was like, damn, I got to get on this and work on finding a kidney no matter what it takes.
And it's kind of like that very harsh reality. There just aren't enough people who have filled out donor cards through the state agencies. We try to encourage that as much as we can. I mean, you can't take it with you. And then there's the element of, asking people to test, which is what we are essentially doing right here. I'm not doing this interview because, you are a nice guy, but we're not doing it because of that. I'm doing it because it struck me in a particular way. I don't want people to struggle. And I want someone to feel something pulling at them as we speak about this. And I am here you're there from your perspective. You need the kidney. From my perspective, I've done this. I've given it. It will change your life for the better. Let me just tell you, my life is so much better now since I did this. And all I can say is, if something pulls at you, go to a website that Eric has set up called kidneybeggar.com. Now, you bought that site yourself, right?
I did, absolutely.
Okay. Now what does that do? That links up to
it goes directly to the kidney website that I basically bought the domain and then redirected it there because it's a pain to go www. Go to NKR and then a bunch of digits. But I also pictured myself, if I don't get a kidney from what I'm doing, standing on a corner with a cardboard sign that says kidneybeggar.com.
Yep.
And it'll work for bumper stickers or whatever else I need, because I laugh about it, but that's just the kind of guy I am. But it's really scary as hell. And it more so, not so scary. It's scary for me, but my kids are the worst. And my daughter has a hard time with it at school. Because people know that I'm not feeling super well. Or they've heard about my kidney disease. And I mean, like, one of her friends went up to her. This was a sad one. And she was going to a friend's house, and her friend says to her, what are you doing hanging out with your friend? I would be hanging out with my dad because he could be dead soon. And it was like, she got upset and was crying. And then another boy on the bus must have heard from his parents that I had kidney disease. And he said to her, they were getting in one of those stupid elementary school fights. And he was like, well, at least my dad's not going to be dead. And it was like, oh, man.
Darn it. Boy, kids, they really fight dirty.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, well, I really believe that you're not going to be dead. And I can't wait for your daughter to tell that kid what's up. Because, God willing, this is going to happen. And when a person goes to that website, let's say the average person, they go there, part of the issue is most people don't know what they're really getting into when they try to run out this ground ball. And I think it's important that we detail that for them. You know what I mean?
It's well, here's what's cool about the website, because I've talked to a few people who or tried it and they got turned away because they had kidney stones. But when they go to the website, you just answer a few simple questions about your medical history. And then a kidney counselor from the website reaches out to you and we'll set up, if you want to go the next step after the questionnaire and get your blood checked to see if you're a match or if you could be a donor. That's the next step. And it's just slowly, it's not a big yes to go to the website and say, oh yeah, I'm going to give a kidney as soon as I'm here. It's baby steps. And if you end up getting qualified, then you move on. But I was just speaking, I had a meeting with the surgeon yesterday. And I was asking him about the process and how long I'll be out of commission. And he said about a week at the hospital, but he said for the person who donates, they're out in a day or two, and their life is basically back to normal after 2 weeks. And I said that, I mean, it's a big ask to give a kidney, but it put it in perspective. It's like almost about the same amount of time as if someone had COVID. They're out of commission for about the same amount of time. And you don't get hospitalized always with COVID, but you're about out of commission for about the same amount of time. And the difference that it can make in somebody's life is astronomical.
That's exactly right. And that's what you said is all true. After I walked out of the hospital, I wanted to walk home, but I decided to take the shuttle. And then, you're just on your feet right away because they encourage you to walk. And that's exactly what it was. And outside of the incision, it was what you said, man. And I'm telling you, I talked to Jeffrey quite a bit, who got the kidney. I just talked to him the other day, and he's alive and well and strong as a horse. And that puts you in a special place, I think, in terms of mentally knowing what you were able to do. It took us 200 days from the day I committed to it to the day the actual kidney left my body. And I'm telling you, I look back on it now. People ask me, hey, how you doing? I'm like, about what? The kidney. It's like, oh, are you kidding me? That was nothing, man. God gives you so much power with those 2 kidneys that and besides, I just had a checkup and mine has grown, the one that I have. What was immediately a 50% reduction in work that it does because I lost one. I've made up 25% of that back. This is no big deal. And I also am blessed with, if let's say my kidney goes bad, I don't wait. I am not I don't have to wait. I am at the top. And I've got 2 get out of kidney jail free cards for family members. They make this, they incentivize this so that people do this. There's a lot in it to do this. And you'll probably never need it, but they've got everything covered. And I like how you described it as baby steps, because I remember they were constantly trying to almost talk me out of this. Hey, are you sure? Because they want to make sure that you're okay in the head, that you can do this. So and you get the most thorough physical imaginable, and to make sure you are 100% safe as best as you can be to give this kidney. So, I can't stress enough that if anybody feels moved to, go to kidneybeggar.com and just start typing. Okay. Just take it one step at a time. That's the best advice I could give anybody, I would say.
Yeah. It's just, you go there and you start small to see if you're even in the ballpark, and that just gets the ball rolling a little, but by no means is it a giant snowball at that point. You're not saying, yes, I'm going to give Eric the kidney. You're just kind of exploring it, and it would be, I'd be very appreciative of it. There's no doubt, as would my family.
Yeah.
Someone out there is definitely listening is an answer to prayers. It's just a matter if they're going to listen to what their God is telling them.
Correct. As I've said before, if today you hear his voice, harden not your heart. Is what they would sing in church. And I was like, oh my God. Because when that moment hit me, it was a very godlike moment. And I was like, well, I could, and I wanted to, there were a couple of times and I was like, I don't think I want to do that. And I said, no, I'm going to do it. So I just I'm not telling you this, not telling people this to say, hey, this is something because I did it. I'm just saying you have a choice. And, if you decide not to, that's totally, something that you have to do. I'm just saying, have a little faith and say and help save this man's life for his family and for his sake.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I haven't given an organ before, but I remember I had a weird God moment. I tell my wife when we were out for our anniversary, and it was in the middle of the polar vortex, and we met this woman, a beggar, I guess, basically. Now I'm begging for a kidney, but I met her on the stairs, and her face was all burnt from the wind, and she was a homeless woman. And I talked to her and I gave her some money, of course. And then I came out from dinner, and it was like God's voice was in my head, like, give her your expensive jacket. And I had a $600 Patagonia coat that was my baby. And I had no business being in my minivan. I don't know why I had it in the back. And I said, I was kind of like you with the kidney. I was like, I could listen. I'm like, if God really wants me to give it to her, the coat will be back there. And then the coat was back there. And I was like, well, if God really wants me to give her the jacket, I'm going to see her when I drive around the corner, and she's going to be there, and she's going to look cold, and I'm going to give her the jacket. I'm like, but that probably won't happen. I was trying to set it up in my head where It wasn't the thing to do. And sure enough, man, I rounded the corner, and there she is standing there. And I'm like, I got out and I was like, God told me to give this to you, and off away went my $600. It was like the Arctic coat of a lifetime. And she needed it more than me.
Yes. I love that. Eric, can you tell me a little bit about your lovely wife and your children, please?
I've got 2 kids, a 15-year-old boy, a 10-year-old girl, and they're awesome. Today was a monumental day in her life. She realized that the leprechauns aren't real.
Oh, okay. All right.
Man, she's getting suspicious of all of the holidays. And she comes to me this morning. She has the Walgreens bag that the candy came in. She's like, Dad, did you go to Walgreens and buy this candy? I'm like, no, you really think I'd leave gold glitter all over the kitchen with candy wrappers and stuff? Of course I didn't use that. I'm like, what? She's like, do you have a receipt for what you bought? And I was like, no, it'd be in the garbage. Sure enough, I'm out in the car, and she comes out with the receipt in her hand. She's like, Dad, it looks like you're the leprechaun.
Wow. I've never done leprechaun treasures. I've never even heard of anybody even doing that.
Oh, we set up traps every year for the leprechaun. So we had cardboard boxes hanging from the ceiling with booby traps on them that when he grabs it, the box falls on him.
Oh, that's great fun. That is fantastic.
And my 15-year-old boy is he likes scootering, and he's a quieter, he's a really good kid, hanging out at home. And I think that he struggles a little with my kidney disease because him and I are like tight, but he never lets on to worrying about anything because that's how he is. But yeah, it's cool.
Is the kidney disease, is this a genetic thing or
it's not, because no one in my family has it that I know of. It's called IgA nephropathy. And basically at some point, one woman, a nurse, described it to me. I've never had anybody else describe it this way. I had the pyramid of death or something, she called it, where I got mono, strep throat, the flu, pneumonia, all of these diseases, all these sicknesses at the same time. And she said, if you have it in your DNA, it can trigger IgA to kick in. And that was when I was like 16. Uh-huh. So from the time when I was 16 to 40, this IgA had been working its way through my kidneys. And by the time I found out, I only had 22% of my kidneys left. And that was when I was 40 at a visit for finally getting a physical.
Okay.
So, and there's no symptoms to it early on whatsoever, other than you get some bubbles in your pee. But whatever.
So now you talked about dialysis. When is that? That has to be in your very near future.
Yeah, I'm scheduled to go in to get some kind of they call it an access put in on April 14th. And then that puts you out of commission because they don't want to get you to get a hernia. They put you out of commission for a week. And then you start dialysis. I got to go through 7 days of training for 4 days of training. It's like 40 hours of training to learn how to do at-home dialysis. And then you basically are hooked up to a machine for 8 hours a night. I think my biggest concern with dialysis beyond the mortality rate is that my wife stays at home with the kids and I'm the sole breadwinner. And I guess when you go on dialysis, you can get kind of foggy headed. And my job is to be creative for a living because I'm a copywriter. So it isn't going to be good for the income sheet. But hopefully I'll get through it. But that's another one of the concerns with dialysis beyond trying to sleep with a bunch of tubes stuck in you.
Right. No, it's not. What you said is I mean, yeah, that sounds about right to me. When it comes to like being on a donor list, a lot of times you hear about people who need a kidney on a list. Are you given any type of update about these things? Where you are on the list? How does that work?
I found out I'm about 4 years in on the donor list. The average wait time in Michigan for a kidney is 5 to 7 years for a deceased kidney. Michigan's got, unfortunately, some of the highest wait times in the nation. There's other states you can go to, and within 2 years, you can get a deceased kidney. But for some odd reason, I don't know whether it's a low supply or really high demand. Michigan is one of the longest waits that there is. So if I don't find a living donor, I'm basically stuck on dialysis for at least a guaranteed year, definitely probably longer from what I've heard.
What about the possibility of people who aren't a match? I've heard about where through the kidney donation program, it's like give a kidney, take a kidney.
Yeah.
Have you, I mean, let's say so-and-so does not match at all, but still wants to do this. You can still get a kidney, correct?
Absolutely. I'm just looking for someone who, they don't even have to be a match to me necessarily. I'm looking for someone who can give a kidney, because if I can get someone to give a kidney, that's like the golden ticket where I can go in and get a kidney from another live donor who gives a kidney that knows someone that they want to give a kidney on behalf of. So basically it's like a kidney bank.
It is.
Put money into the bank and get the same stuff out. You put your kidney, I just need someone to put a kidney in, and my family would do it, but all my family has kidney stones and high blood pressure. So there's been no one so far that's been able to come through.
So this is what I'd like you to do, because I don't know, have you gotten to the point where you've walked up to people who you know in your circles and your network and just flat out said, hey, I want to talk to you about something? Yeah, what is it? I want to know if you'll give me your kidney.
My Facebook, because Facebook goes to everybody, there's nobody that I know that doesn't know that I have kidney disease and needs a kidney. There's every single person. I think my Facebook post got shared 500 times. So if you think about that 500 times going out to 50 people each, that's like 10,000 different views of the kidney that I need one. So everybody in my immediate family knows, and all of my friends know. And one of the things that's amazed me, there's some people who have tried, but they end up either having kidney stones or some type of medical issue that holds them back. Because I've had probably 20 or 30 people go in and try from my Facebook post, but they've all been getting denied because of, like, one lady was all ready to go and her A1C was too high. So because they really check you out very good ahead of time. So yeah, and I mean, that's why I bought the website, because now I can put a bumper sticker on my car. I can put it on a business card. I can put it on my email list. I can do all kinds of things.
So this will no doubt be shared on your own Facebook page, and that same network will see them. These are the people closest to you. I mean, people that are close to me, they're strangers to you, and that'll work. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's only going to take one. And I guess what I'm trying to drive home here is, no matter who that person is, whether it's someone who just happens to randomly be paying attention to this, or person that you know personally, please use me as a resource. I can walk anybody. I have a master's degree in what it's like to give a kidney, and it's when too often this has seemed to look like such a daunting task. And it's not. It really is not. When I did this, I didn't talk to anyone. I didn't try to, because people will try to talk you out of this. If a person is going to donate a kidney, those closest to you will try to talk you out of this. My mother tried to do this. And, you just, you got to be like focused, tunnel vision on the prize. So, please, if anyone who knows Eric or knows me, and you're thinking about maybe, just start talking to us. Start talking to me. Start talking to Eric. I don't care what it takes, but I want. This is such a carrot that's being dangled that I can't see you not getting this done. I really can't. So. I don't know. I just hope I don't seem like I'm preaching or anything. I just swear to God that this is, I believe that this can happen for you.
Well, I mean, that's what it's, I don't hear you as selling anything. I just hear the certainty in your voice of you've been through it and you've seen all the benefits of, basically saving somebody's life for putting you out of commission for a week or two.
Correct.
Which it's a big ask, but it's also not as daunting as it seems. No. If I could give a kidney,
it's true. It's really true, and that's what I always said, because it's gigantic for you. It's the biggest thing, and your life depends on it. But for me, it's like it's not that big of a deal, and for the person who experiences that too, they will have the same thing. So if the altruistic sense is consuming you, and you hear the words that we are speaking, please. kidneybeggar.com, KIDNEYBEGGAR. And, I don't even know why I'm saying it, because it's going to be in the show notes. It's going to be everywhere. So, okay. Well, I think we've covered it, and I'm going to check back in with you and see how you're doing. Okay.
I appreciate it. Take care.
Okay, Eric, and give my best to your lovely better half and the kids. Okay.
For sure. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Peace.
See ya.
Roll Up to Win is here at Tim Hortons, and every roll makes you a winner. You could win.
No way. One of 5 week-long Hilton getaways?
Sweet.
Or one of 50 Hilton weekend trips. Pack your bag.
On it.
Or a Samsung TV.
Nice.
Or a car.
Win a car?
Yeah, a new 2022 Bronco.
Whoa. With over 2 million prizes, it's your time to celebrate. Open your Tim's app and start winning. No purchase necessary. Terms apply. See rolluptowin.com for details.